You ready to jaywalk this or what? You about that? You think we got time? Let's do it. Let's do it. Man, hey, it's good to be out here with you right now. You know, an interview, conversation. Me and you, we always got the opportunity to have a lot of, I would say, vulnerable conversations, even though we see each other like sparingly. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's just
You know what I'm saying? It's every so often.
every so often. It's a unique connection, you know. And I'm grateful to call you my brother.
Yeah,
I feel like I know you from another lifetime.
Yeah.
Which lifetime did we meet?
Man, lifetime, you a RC dude. I say probably like pre-slavery, you know what I'm saying? That we was in the motherland or the fatherland, whichever one.
Yeah.
You dig, and we had it bussin', you know, on the art and the creativity just like this now, but of course in that age, you know, on some hieroglyphic type, like, you know,
I feel that.
I could see that definitely,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I love movies like Black Panther, even though it's a fake world, it's a fake place, Wakanda, but it's actually real when you think about what existed prior to this empire that we in right now, you know, this patriarchy we in right now. Before that, we had our own matriarchs and patriarchs, and you know, movies like that kind of represent it in a very real way. So, you know, even though, like I said, it's fake, but at the end of the day, it's about the intention. So, and Brian Coogler directed that, so shout out to him. But that's how I see us. That's how I see us in the past life, like on some type time, like you dig, like that. An ancient chemist somewhere, you know, putting some up on the wall, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my griot thing, and you painting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doing what you do, so definitely.
Yeah. You know, and I respect that. You know, you're one of the few people, when I see you, you greet me, you say, peace, God. I say, peace, God. You know what I'm saying? And I receive it, you know. But what does that mean?
Man, when I say peace, God, first I'm affirming peace over you, but I'm also giving an affirmation of godliness within you, because God exists within all living things. So when I say peace, God, is whatever, I'm acknowledging the God within you, the creator that exists within you. So that's literally what it is all the time.
Yeah. So do this feel like church right now? Look around. We ain't got no speakers attached to us, but you know, the eyes is on us right now. You know, what's some?
Probably think I'm like super famous.
You are super famous. Look,
Local artist, man.
but you know, it's struggle as we can see.
Yeah.
There's things going on right now. What's some free game you'll give to just one coming up? You know, just speaking on creativity in particular, you're a very creative person. You know, so what free game would you give on somebody coming up and want to just grow their creativity and want to become more creative?
For one, don't stop. I know that's cliche, but it's the truth. Do not stop. Always keep going. And two, you know, creativity holds no bounds, and there is no rules to it. So always utilize that force and just be limitless with it, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Like, you know, we ain't asked, you know, certain people in our history how to create certain things. The pyramids, I'm sure, wasn't built in concepts that regarded, you know, limitation. You had to have a limitless understanding in order to create something like that. So always stay creative and always stay infinite. That's what I say.
We're gonna go ahead, head in, grab a bite. Thank you, appreciate you. I guess they gonna stay out. Okay. Are they here? So I know we here right now. We, you know, Golden Street. We in the spirit of just giving constantly. You know, giving is a superpower for real. But you know, I asked you about a food spot just within the downtown area. What's some of your top 5 like Chicago food spots?
So veg, number one, been eating that since I was a kid. My dad been vegetarian since I was a kid, so before I became vegan, that's where I was at. So veg. Let me see. You dig? Uncle Remus, because I'm from out west, even though I don't eat meat no more. I don't eat chicken no more. But shout out Uncle Remus. And these ain't really got no order. I'm just going down. Let me see. I rock with. Let me see. It's a couple spots. Hold on. Let me not. I rock with Yassa on 35th and King Drive, and I rock with Gory. Them both African spots. You dig what I'm saying? So shout out to them. Ja Grill, real cool on some Jamaican vibe, cause I'm Jamaican. So shout out to Ja Grill. I'm trying to make sure I shout out all the spots that I frequent too, not just any spot. And there's one more. Let me see. Let me give reverence for one more. I used to eat Mickey's a lot. So shout out to Mickey's. But they call it the Retro Grill now. They changed the name. But shout out to them. Shout out to the Retro Grill. Shout out to their establishment. Spent a lot of time in there. You dig? And an honorable mention to be like Lighthouse Grill. You dig what I'm saying? Ethiopian Diamond up north. You dig? I'm different. My palate a little different, as you can see, because I'm naming all type of different spots. But, you know, I also want to make sure I'm highlighting melanated people and they businesses. Oh, yeah, let me shout out a Mexican spot. La Quesadilla del Sur. I think I'm saying it right. I just know it's on Western, up north. Like Quesadilla, it's a vegetarian, vegan, Latin spot, and they got tacos and all that, juices. That joint fire. Shout out to them. You dig?
No, I hit a few of those spots. You know, we grew up on Soul Veg too.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So going there, to this day they remodeled. You know what I'm saying? So going in, it's an experience every time. They be hooking it up. I went to that Mexican spot too. I call it quesadilla for sure, but I know it's a longer name too. I go there and, you know, I say, man, somebody grandma back there making these vegan tacos.
Bro.
They be hidden. Yeah.
I butchered the shit out their name, but shout out to them, man. Them tacos good.
So wait, do you cook?
Yeah, I definitely cook. I just was cooking the other day, actually. My favorite thing to make is curry, chickpeas, quinoa, and beans, cabbage, and plantains, man. So a real Ital, real plant-based Caribbean-style meal is my go-to, you dig?
Yeah, that's real. It's like maybe they waiting on us.
Yeah,
you think they waiting on us?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, we gonna order this food and then we gonna pop back on. All right. So we on our way out. We had I guess a good question going in the spot. How you feeling about the GNX album?
Man, I love it, man. I feel like it's very West Coast. You know, I'm a Kendrick stan, so I always want to hit Kendrick, get on some West Coast type time, like some real West Coast. So to hear him unapologetically be his coast and be Compton is something I always wanted as a fan. And a lot of people don't know this, but his parents from Chicago. They from the Robert Taylor Project building out here. So when he really speaking, he's speaking that Chicagoism too. Like, don't get it twisted. That's why GLC was on his first tape. You did, because his daddy used to bump GLC, his daddy GD. Anyway, shout out Kendrick, you know, shout out Dot, man. Shout out to the album GNX. My favorite track on there is Reincarnated and Squabble Up. You dig? That shit was fire. And then Tap In. A lot of hate on it, you know, because he slayed a very notable artist. I ain't going to mention his name because I don't think he even deserved to get mentioned. But, you know, I feel like it needed to be done, and I feel like it was something the culture needed. And I feel like West Coast culture needed that album for sure, just because Kendrick been a notable rapper from their side of the map for a decade run plus. And I think that was beautiful to see from somebody genuinely West Coast, a genuine West Coast native, following the death of Nipsey Hussle and Kobe Bryant. Like, that was definitely necessary. So shout out to him, man.
Now the energy behind that project was definitely pure, you know what I'm saying? But I think in the purity, just like, you know, Kendrick, he very dual. Like, he'll show both sides, you know what I'm saying? Even in Reincarnated, he told a story. He said he retold the devil's story, or he rewrote it, you know? Which I think Kendrick music, I can listen to it a million times and find a new meaning as I grow and as he grow. Train coming past. Sometimes the train feel like a little spiritual being. You just gotta honor the train, let it go past. Let that train. Something that always stood out to me though about Kendrick is his dual nature. You know what I'm saying? He even, you know, he tapped into his Gemini. He said, I'm a Gemini. Probably every other, you know, album he mentioned it. I guess we could cross over this way. What did you pull from Reincarnated? Being one of your favorite tracks, like, what did you pull from it? I pulled a lot of energy from that track, but what did you pull from it?
I like the piece on reincarnation because I believe in reincarnation. I know it's real. But also, I like how he took a very notable story that a lot of people know in religion and spiritual practices and flipped it on his head to show it wasn't about him being devilish or satanic or nothing like that. It was to show that that force that the devil represent in the Bible is a force that exists in humanity. Right. And he's saying, you know, he do all he can to be righteous and to change his life as a human being, but he's still plagued with the same temptations that will be deemed devilish or satanic. So it's a nod to being human. It's a nod to the duality of life. And most people miss it because they don't understand the science he's dropping. But we all fallen angels. We all gods and devils. From my perspective, and that song is an audio representation of that fact. You know what I mean? So I like it a lot from that aspect. And just the storytelling is very raw. And the Tupac nod is crazy. Like, you know, I just know he a student off that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a student of hip hop too, so I appreciate it from a different level, on a way different frequency, you dig?
Yeah. I'm gonna stand out here and be cold with you for a second. I know they just went in, but I wanna ask you a few more questions before we step into the building.
Okay.
And we've been traveling different dimensions. We done went to Wakanda. We in Chicago right now. You know what I'm saying? We learned that, you know, we all can be fallen angels. You know, that's a lot of realms right there, ain't it? But considering Golden Street itself is the idea of staying on that right path again to the kingdom of God. Exactly. What are your thoughts on just staying on the right path to make it into the kingdom of God? What does that look like for your journey?
For me, it's keeping my promises to self and making sure I stay integral and diligent in my integrity with other people, holding myself accountable, being held accountable, you know, and always doing my best and not being so hard on myself, because I be hard on myself, man. So to me, the best way to stay on the path to God is to love yourself unapologetically, but also is to love others just the same way, and to keep that dual nature and always move and do unto your neighbor as you want done to you. Always honor your parents and honor your ancestors, you know, and do it for them. Do it for your family. Do it for the closest to you, whatever you call your family, and just move in that path, man, and everything will unfold. You always going to have challenges. You always going to have obstacles. You know, you always going to have the enemy try to tempt you. But if you stay true to you and stay true to what you know and believe in and what you honor within yourself, you always gonna move forward righteously. And as long as what you doing ain't not helping, but ain't hurting nobody. It's not hurting nobody, robbing nobody, killing nobody, raping, whatever. The dog is not one of those extremely negative forces. You know, the righteous force is always gonna be with you. The light always gonna be with you. And you know, I shaded that.
Man, hey, you said it right here. With that, let's step into some warmth. We go right up inside. After that, that was, man, that was powerful. That was powerful. I appreciate you sharing that. One thing I love about just you in particular is you more than just about talking. You rap, but you a builder.
What's your name? You used to go to Kids Express.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Oh shit, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? You remember me?
Yeah, like.
Money.
Oh, Money, yeah.
I remember you used to be skinny with glasses, man. Now you tall and swole and stuff. These your sisters?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, like I've been.
Oh yeah, that is the damn. That's crazy. Oh, give me a hug, man.
Hey, this is a real moment right here. Real moment. Hey, that's why I like doing these interviews on the street for real though, because it's like you never know what might happen, you know. And that's what I want more on the street talks. Is like more just street interaction, and it's already naturally happened just by going on the streets and interacting. You're gonna gravitate to more street interaction. You know what I mean? Man, that was very, very real moment. You know, super real. Don't get no real than that. It's real. You're right. Hey, but look, we rolling. And one thing I love about you is that you a builder. You know what I mean? Like me and you could talk all day. I'm sure of it. But then to build is the most powerful thing ever. When I first met you, I remember was at DePaul because I seen you at Soulful Mondays. And I remember you, and when I first met you, I met Huey Gang. And at the same time, y'all took over Soulful Mondays. Y'all literally took it over. I don't even know if y'all realized that y'all took it over. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Can you run me that back? Like, tell me
Yeah.
how was that time for you?
Man, bro, you just brought back a lot of memories. That was like, at the same time we taking that open mic over, I was like really stepping into my power as an artist.
Yeah.
So it was like a double-edged sword in a good way because I, for one, got to get my raps off, get my creativity off, and get it in a crowd really receive it. But also, like, you know, we got the benefit of taking over that space and dominated with our brothers like Femdot, you know, Ambiance. You dig what I'm saying? Then we started hosting it. Shout out to Finesse Fest because she used to DJ there. We started hosting it. I started bringing features through. And that shit was lit, man. It was a good time. So it felt good to have that platform for the amount of time we did. And it was one of the ways I got my initial footing in the door in the scene outside of YCA and U Media and all the places we would frequent. So yeah.
Hey, what introduced you to the Soulful? Like, how'd you find out about it?
Man, how did we? I think one of the guys knew somebody that went to DePaul, and they invited us there. And then there was a lot of comedians at that open mic, and they used to host it, and that shit was fun. They used to go crazy. They was funny as hell. And that's from there we just always went. After that, the first time we went, and then from there we just took it over, you know. Yeah. So eventually,
yeah, that's good, man. This was on my heart, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into this. Just considering Chicago, you know, it's a city that's built on relationship. Like, this city wouldn't be here if it wasn't for relationships. What are some of the things that we can do in the city? Because you active in the city. Like, a lot of people in Chicago, but you actually active in the city and in the world too. So what from what your journeys and your travels across the world, and then being native to Chicago, what can we do here to strengthen our relationships, like our core relationships with our neighbors, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that?
keep God first. You know what I'm saying? Keep love first. And when I say keep God first, you keep love first. And honor your neighbor as you honor you. Do all to others as you want done to you. And to me, those principles always work. Of course, some people don't follow them, but it's not about whether or not people follow them. It's about you following them. Because the creator within you is honored by you always doing a righteous thing in that moment. You dig? So, and whether that is, if you got to step on and stand on business, that's righteous too. Defending yourself is righteous too. But it's time for that. And the counter and parry to that move is always honored when it's done in a righteous way, not just on an offensive or, just out of done out of ego, but when it's done necessarily, so regardless of how we want to look at it, because there's a lot of trauma in our city, right? That's what keep people in a toxic nature and keep people wanting to be divisive with each other. But in my opinion, my perspective on the matter is, just love, man. That's why I say infinite love, because if we bring it back to that principle, right? Because when we was kids, we ain't all these stereotypes and all the things that we saw as children, didn't matter until we became adults. But before that, we'll hang out with a white kid or a white child or, whatever. We'll hang out with whoever and whatever, dogs, cats, plants, the trees. We just be outside, that natural innocence we have as children. If we lean on that inner child more, it'll in the right times, of course, it's timing, right? That in turn would lead us to more divinity, more togetherness, more community, because we knew what community was as children. People sleep on how smart and intelligent kids are, like children are. Like, children are very intelligent, so, and to me, that childlike nature of innocence, of us not judging each other, is what would keep us going and keep us in conglomerate as a city and as creatives, so It just take a while. We go through our trauma, we go through our stuff. We get that residue, and that residue be on us, and it influence our actions and our motives and inclinations. So, you know.
Man, that's Ashe. I appreciate that. I guess we could head in. I got maybe one more question for you, but I got 1,000 more questions for you. You just dropped a single and a music video, Rasta. Yep. You know what I'm saying, featuring King Louis. Mm-hmm. What is the Rasta faith, and what is the Rasta song?
Okay, so my dad, like I said, Jamaican from Kingston, immigrated to the States before I was born. And my dad been Rasta probably as long as I've been born. He became Rasta after he got shot because he was in the streets of Chicago doing some stuff, you know, moving and grooving, trying to make ends meet. And he found Rasta through my uncle Junior Reed. Junior Reed made the song One Blood. If you ever heard the game song One Blood back in the day, that guy that's singing on the hook with the turban, that's my uncle. That's my dad's brother. So my uncle Junior Reed been Rasta since before my dad was Rasta, and that's how my dad got into Rastafari. But my dad also was raised around Rastas that he grew up with my great-grandma and grandfather at the time, who was my grand-uncles, right? So Rasta faith is just natural living, Ital living. Ital just mean vegan, plant-based eating. And, you know, some Rastas pescatarian, some Rastas still eat meat. But most real, true Rastas, they Ital living. They living off the land, living off nature. You know what I'm saying? Unplugging from the matrix, off grid, right? Some people attribute it to Christianity. Certain parts of Rastafari can be seen as Christian-like. But how I see it is distilling the information that was given to us and finding the truth in it, right? So Rastas are not necessarily Christians. Rastas are Rastas. And they lean on Christianity because Haile Selassie, who they feel like was a reincarnation of Christ or had Christ consciousness embodied on earth at the time, they feel like he was a representation of that, so they lean towards that. But all in all, it's just really giving reverence to black people and a black God and a black faith. That's all Rastafari is, and natural living, connected with Mother Nature, connecting with Earth, you know, connecting with your ancestors, right? That's all Rastafari is, but it's a lot of different. People think it's just smoking weed and being in nature and all. Like, it's way deeper. It's a lot deeper depths. You got different types of Rastas. You got Boba Shanti Rastas, which is what my father and my uncle Junior Reed are, right? You got Nyabingi Rastas. That's what Bob Marley and any of the Marleys are. They Nyabingi. Then you got 12 Tribe Rastas. I don't know too much about them, but you got these different sections of Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? But it's all, to me, in the umbrella of giving reverence to Black Christ, giving reverence to, and that the Black Christ within our people. And that's how I look at it. And they give honor to ancestors like Marcus Garvey from Jamaica, right? They give honor to King Emmanuel, to Emmanuel, prophet, you know, that was on Bobo Ill a couple years back. One of my cousins actually got to meet Emmanuel back in the day. A lot of Boba Shantis give reverence to Emmanuel, right? They give reverence to Malcolm X. You know, anybody in history who fought for us, Rastas represent, Rastas preach, you dig? So you could tap in Rastafari via any roots reggae artists like Capleton, Sizzla, Bob Marley, you know, Damian Marley, Stephen Marley, any of the Marleys, my Uncle Junior Reed, me now, since I'm, you know, my cousin Young JR, my cousin Juju Blood, you know what I'm saying, Wada and Andrew, all of them represent a Rasta culture. So Rasta is deep, man. It go deep. Spiritually, physically, and mentally. It's a whole trinity of things you got to understand within yourself to really embody, you know, that energy. Because Jah's within, and they believe God is within. We believe God is within. So, you dig, that's how we move. And we see God in all living things, all creatures, and people on the planet that breathe life. So, I say to that.
That's real. And that's a holistic, you know, view on life, you know, and I feel like we might be them 12 tribe Rastas for real. Where we grew up. What you think, Mo? Yeah, we definitely the 12 tribe Rastas. But, yeah, you know, it's a beautiful thing. We're going to go ahead and enter into the gallery. Okay, last time I was this is my second time interviewing somebody. I interviewed my homie Parnell last time. We standing outside the gallery. I didn't realize we supposed to go inside the gallery to finish off the interview. You like this. So thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end it. We're gonna basically cap off the interview. Last words. I'm gonna shine this light.
Smoothie, man.
It hit. Man. You very preservative on your smoothie. Me, I'd have had that done. That'd have been done.
That's because I ate before I got here. So.
Okay. Wise man. Wise man. Hey, so I want to thank you for joining us today. Not only sharing your words on the mic, you know what I'm saying, with the music, with the performance, but now also walking through the city with me a little bit and doing this interview.
Sure.
Definitely looking forward to more moments like this. I shared with you earlier off camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing a script right now. Definitely would love to tap in with you more on just character building. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love to be a part of something like that.
Yeah. Again, once again, just thank you. Thank you. I want to give you this moment right here to just share any last words to the people watching, you know what I'm saying, and just really whatever you want to share, I'm going to give you the last words.
For sure. Man, so I just want to say big shout out to Amaz and the whole Golden Street and the brothers here. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity and the space to get up here and express myself in front of y'all and connect with y'all and build and break bread. You know, shout out to the ancestors. Shout out to Mother Earth. Shout out my mother and father, my family and friends. Shout out my brother Drive. He going to be on here real soon. Shout out to Rico Shy, dropping some hot shit right now. Shout out to Huey Gang and my brothers. You already know. We got some shit we cooking too. And we lit, man. Shout out to the thinkers too. Shout out all my people, my Dirty Everyday people, Healthy Hood, Chairman Allen, Reverend Tanya Lozano, all my people, man. Shout out anybody I miss. I don't take it, charge it to the head, not the heart. As they say, and we gonna rock out always and forever. Y'all know how we get. Infinite love, divine guidance, and protection. I shade of that. Appreciate you, brother.
100.